Hi guys, and welcome back to Reads Readers with your host, Clint. And as the title suggests, it's time to spill some tea on what I read in May. Is that right? Yes, May. Wow. It's been a month, guys. I just brushed my teeth. That didn't taste good. Blah, 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 blah. Okay, before I get into the books, let's go over the stats that we had for May. So in the month of May, I completed 11 books. I did DNF 3, 2 were soft DNFs. That one is still on my Audible, but I'm just gonna restart it. One is on my shelf, and one was a really hard DNF because anxiety said I wasn't allowed to do it. Also, I'm also still in the middle of a book. I started Bears and Bakeries in May, but life and physical reading went downhill. Also, what do y'all think of the new backdrop? I knew I wanted a Green Creek shelf because I will have other editions coming soon. Same with Red, White, and Royal Blue. And behind me are all own voices, authors. These are all male, written by queer male authors. Or mask presenting authors. Also, apologize for the hair. My hair is crazy. I need a haircut, like, bad. Sorry about that segue. I'm glad. I kind of wanted the backdrop to look a little bit nicer, a little bit more clean cut. And what do you think of the fairy lights? I may need to figure out how to put some like right here and right here. They're just so long that I'm like, I might need to find some like shorter ones to put there so that they can be illuminated at the same, because this looks weird on camera. I just got done moving everything. But back to stats. So in the month of May, with those 11 books, 1 was a 3.5 star, 2 were a 4 star, 1 was a 4.5, 5 were 5 stars, and 2 were 6 stars, which gave me an average star rating of a 4.8 star rating. Now, my month, there was days that I was reading a lot. There was days I was barely reading. Just the month. May was the shortest and longest month of my life. So, also don't remember what shows I was watching. So, yeah. I do know I read 3,915 pages. 6 of the books that I read were specifically queer, and I did post the first of my romance talk vlogs where I read nothing but books written by male authors. Oh, Wolf Song. Sorry, I got a message and I was like so confused. And I did finish, I think. I read 6 in that vlog. So, none of my books were from my 25 and 25 list. I need to get cracking on that. I do have some own voices on that list, so. 5 of the authors I read were new to me. 6 were authors I've read before. 2 of the books that I read out of those 6 were rereads. 6 of the books had romance as a main plot point, and 3 of the books had fantasy as a main plot point. I do believe 2 of the fantasy ones on here did share romance as like the 2 main plot points because they were more like fantasy-esque romance books. I read 1 book on my Kindle because it was kindly gifted to me from the author to read before publication date. 3 of the books I did not own when I read them, but 2 of them I do own now, and they are in the stack. One of which being said author's book. 7 of the books I read start series. Did I continue, catch up, or finish any series this month? No. Did I read any nonfiction? No. Am I unhauling any of the books in this pile? I think only one is a possible in the future, but as of right now, I don't see me unhauling it, just because I want to read more by this author, and if I end up loving this author, I want to keep it as like the first book I read. I don't think I watched any movies that are of note. Same with queer TV shows, unless you count Real Housewives of Atlanta. I think I finished. I don't remember if Beverly Hills finished in May or April. And the only artist that I have is Chappell Roan. But I loved Chappell Roan before. Oh, Drag Race. I watched All Stars season 10 started in May. It is still going on. We're about to start the 3rd bracket. But I did listen to Chappell Roan beforehand, but I decided to dedicate a couple of days in the month to actually going through her archive and actually, like, I had liked a couple of her songs, but I didn't, like, really dive into her work. I did now. So let us get into the books we read in the month. So I'm going to pause because the only book that I don't currently own is my one 3.5. So for my 3.5, I read For Found Dead by Natalie D. Richards. Do you believe I didn't write down last names? So or author names. I want to say it was Natalie D. Richards. It's this one that'll be on the screen. This was a fun, like, thriller, fast-paced YA thriller. Didn't really do anything exciting. It's about four found dead. There was a group of kids group of people closing the theater for the last time, and one starts killing people. And then they have to escape into the abandoned mall, and things go on from there, and 4 of them die. I think it would have been more interesting to me if we didn't know who the killer was from the beginning, or if said killer would have been some sort of twist in the end of, oh, they really didn't do it. They're not as crazy as you think they are, guys. But we knew who the killer was from start to finish. Yeah, it was fun. I'm glad I read it. I like Natalie D. Richards. I feel like she's an author that is those cookie cutter, like, thrillers that you need. Like, if you're needing a fast-paced thriller that'll keep you on the edge of your seat. I was waiting for, like, a major twist, but it didn't do anything exciting. So that's why it got a 3.5. And now on to my 2 4 stars of the month. The first one goes to the Baw pick, which I will link our live show down below. I gave this a low 4 star. If I did 0.75s, it would have been 3.75. But I gave 4 stars to Drag to the Wedding by Andrew Gray. This was nothing bad. It's just nothing about it was shocking or like, oh my god, this is like the greatest thing I've ever read. It was good enough to read. This follows James and Daniel. James needs a date to his sister's wedding because they do not know he is gay. So in comes Daniel, who pretends to be Daniela, and goes as his date in drag. and the things ensue from there. There was one thing that I found fascinating was there was a side thing where there was an investigation into the pastor, the church, but nothing really went, like, I like my suspense romances. Like, listen, I like a lot of suspense. Wasn't enough, like, suspense and, like, ooh, what's happening? To be like, I was just like, why is this in the book? But this was cute. I will link the live show down below. All three of us kind of felt the same. We were like, we're happy we read it. Will we ever reread? Maybe, maybe not. This is the one that's kind of like on the fence on if I will keep it or not. It was pitched as similar to Birdcage, and that is the only reason why I wanted to read it. And to give drag representation, because you don't see a lot of that in books. But this was fun. I just read way too much MM romance, so didn't do anything exciting. Next would probably be like a higher 4-star. If I did 0.25s, it's probably what this one would have gotten, and that is Enemies of the State by Tal Bauer. I cannot wait to continue this series. I read this and Andrew Gray's in that vlog. I will link down my vlog down below. Go check it out. I go into a lot more details, but this follows Jack Spires and Ethan Reckenbach. Jack is the president of the United States and Ethan is the head of his Secret Service. And them falling in love. And things ensuing. This is really heavily political, so it did take me a bit to get into, but I'm happy I understood everything. Tal Bauer does have a habit of making things feel very realistic and in your face, and I love that about him, and I want to read a lot more Tal Bauer. I know some people have suggested a Tal Bauer vlog. I mean, I still have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 others to read, so who knows? Might be a MM romance talk in the future. But this was super fun. If you like action-packed, this kind of felt very Jason Bourne, but gay. No. The movie White House Down, but make it gay. It's not like exactly like that, but like some twists and turns. So now on to our 4.5, and that goes to The Misfit Mage and His Dashing Devil. This was so much fun. Oh, by Emin Bennett. I also read this in that said vlog. This was so much fun. This follows apprentice mage Wally, who works in the... he spends his days cataloging rare antiques and dreaming about finally mastering his magic. Well, while he's at the place that he works, which... Will you stop that? I could hear you, Chewy. While he's at the headquarters working and cataloging things, people break in and hack into the system and start killing everybody. These rogue misfit mages and things, and vampires and things like that, start killing people. And he doesn't mean to, but accidentally unleashes Beelzebub from his sphere, his confinement. And Beelzebub helps him to stop the bad guys, but he is blamed for the attack and they must go on the run to clear Wally's name. And that is all I'm going to say. I am excited to continue this series. It is so much fun. There are a few trigger warnings for like foul language, graphic violence, gore, blood, bullying, torture, both mental and physical, murder, brutal murder. There are several open door descriptive sex scenes between adults, depression, anxiety, and gaslighting. This is like, I think, gonna be my new, this is going to be one of those like urban fantasies that I'm just going to eat alive. This is gonna be up there with like Haley Turner and David R. Slayton as like some fun urban fantasy. Now I'm gonna quickly go over the 2 5-star rereads because I don't want to spend too much time talking about them. But first is Clown in a Cornfield by Adam Cesar. I read this in a thriller vlog, which I'll link down below, because me and my mother went and saw the movies and loved the movie. I have talked about this a lot on my channel. Slasher with clowns. YA slasher with clowns. The movie was so badass. But I don't want to spend too much time talking about that. Same with the next, and that was Heartstopper Volume 1, which I read for the Osman Along, which is hosted by myself, Hope Edits, Hope's Books, and Morgan from Morgan's Bookshelves. Morgan hasn't posted a video in like 2 years, so I don't remember her channel name, and I can't find it anywhere. Keeps taking me other places when I try to look for it. But Heartstopper, y'all know it's one of my favorite series of all time. It's up there with Green Creek and Soulbound. Amazing series. I'm not gonna... If you don't know what Heartstopper is, why are you here? Or welcome. Read it. YA graphic novel of cuteness. This is the Waterstones exclusive sprayed edged edition, which I pulled down because I did Sam from Sam's Bookish Faves bingo board, and one of them said sprayed edges, and this is the only book I read this month that had a sprayed edge. Next out of my 5-star reads is Murder by Cheesecake by Rachel Eskram Courage. I think this starts a series. Fingers crossed. This is a cozy mystery with the Golden Girls cast. Rose is putting on a St. Olaf wedding, and when she goes to grab the food to set up for the welcome party, the very beginning of the week-long festivities, there is a dead body next to all the cheesecakes she made, and Dorothy is blamed. So they go on a spree to clear Dorothy's name. This is by far one of the cutest, most adorable things in the world. I will suggest, if you are a huge Golden Girls fan, physically read it. The audiobook at times was a bit much for a couple of the characters. The narrator had a very good Sophia voice, very good Rose voice. Blanche could have been a little bit more Scarlett O'Hara for me. And Dorothy's voice, you know when a female narrator tries to do a man's voice? Well, that's what you got for Dorothy, and that just threw me off the entire time Dorothy kept talking. So, grain of salt if you want to go into the audiobook, but I really love this, and I cannot wait for the next one in this series. I hope it's a series. Next is one of my other fantasies, and that is Rogue Community College by David R. Slayton. This takes place in the Adam Binder series. You need to have read White Trash Warlock, Trailer Park Trickster, and Deadbeat Druid before you read Rogue Community College. This follows Isaac Frost and Vran. Vran is an important side character in White Trash Warlock, and Adam makes an appearance in this. Isaac is tasked, he's an assassin. He is an assassin in training, and he was tasked by the Undertaker to infiltrate the Rogue Community College, to destroy it, and to complete his mission. And yeah, I don't want to say too much past that. And things ensue. I found out that you have to read this because we found out that we get a next book in the Adam Binder series, but that one, Redneck Revelant, is going to follow after the events of this one. So I knew I needed this to read, and I immediately got it on our library app, Libby, and devoured it during that vlog. Love, 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 love this world. This is one of my favorite series, favorite worlds. Ugh. I think it goes Green Creek and Heartstopper, Soulbound, and then Adam Binder. Which Adam Binder series, part of it takes place in Guthrie, Oklahoma, and part takes place in Denver. And then other worlds. This part of it takes place in Denver and Colorado, and part of it takes place in other worlds, including Under the Sea. This was just so much fun, a fun cast of new characters, and I cannot wait for the next one in this series and in the Adam Binder series. I will devour anything in this world. Now, our last 5-star has potential to become a 6-star throughout the year. I'm trying to be a lot more strict on my 6 stars because I've realized I've been giving them out a little bit too easy. But I have a feeling this one will probably turn into a 6-star and be on my favorites of the year list because I'm still thinking about it. This was the book that was kindly gifted to me by the author. I was gifted an ebook and I discussed it with him, and I had to buy myself a copy of Step in the Zone by Blaine Bellamy. This is an Step Brothers hockey romance with kink. Now, if you are looking to enter dark romance, this is not dark romance, but it does cover some dark romance themes in a lighter kind of way. So if you're looking for something that could introduce you to some of those themes, this is a really good place to go. I will, like I said, my vlog where I read this and the other MM books, in it, I do go into a full detail. You do get to see my reactions to some of the scenes. Because, sir, the scenes are just so good. This follows Raphael and Cody. Raphael, when he was 10 years old, his brother dies in an accident, which inadvertently causes his father to leave him and his mother and go off on their own. Well, Raphael took a lot to heart because he blames himself for his brother's death. So when he is invited to his father's wedding, he shows up at the wedding not realizing that his new stepmother to be has a son. So he kind of goes a little cray-cray. And then ends up coming home at one point crashing his car, which his mother ends up making the decision to send him to his father's house to take his senior year of high school. P.S. They are both seniors in high school, but they are both 18 due to things that happened in their lives. They had to repeat a year. So everything in this is consensual and over the age of 18. Just FYI. But so Raphael decides He's going to destroy Cody to get back at his father. Especially when he finds out Cody might have a thing for him. And things ensue between him and Cody. This goes back and forth between the different points of view. The only thing that Raphael ever had that has made it where he doesn't have to drink and stuff like that would be hockey. Now you have Cody's storyline where his father left his mother at a young age because he was an alcoholic and all this other stuff, left with all their money and everything. And his mother kind of went into hibernation of destitution and sadness. So he had to grow up really fast. So there are things that have happened in his life and things that have happened in Raphael's life. And the connection between the two becomes a really big thing. This is such a good book. I cannot wait to read Celestial Bodies by him, which is a urban fantasy with lion shifters. Also, be on the lookout on June 20th. I am interviewing Blaine Bellamy on my channel to discuss all things romance and what all of our positives, negatives, and stuff with that, and writing. I will say, these have some of the best sex scenes I have ever read in a book. Also, authors, we need more preparation in our books. More rimming, please. More prep for someone who's a virgin. Also, condoms and lube are discussed a lot. I highly appreciate that, and you can tell that this is very much feels like a book where the gay yearning is very authentically male. Ugh. Yes, it'll probably become a 6-star because it will probably be on my faves of the year list. I already have it as an honorable mention. I may take it off said honorable mentions and actually put it on said list. We shall see. This is book 1 in the Heart of a Viper series, and I cannot wait for Asher's book. Now on to my 6-star reads. If you don't know what a 6-star read is, here on my channel, a 6-star read is usually a favorite of the year, which this, I'm just going to go ahead and say it here, is becoming a 6-star read, and I'm probably going to have it on my favorites of the year list by the end of the year. I have a feeling after the author interview, I'm going to want to make it a 6-star read because this book means a lot to me. But my first 6-star read is Daisy Darker by Alice Feeney. When I tell you I finished a book and literally sat there staring at the wall for 30 minutes afterwards, because what the fuck was that ending? What the fuck? I did not see any of it coming. All I'm going to tell you is this is an and then there were none trope. The matriarch of the family, Nana, is dying, and this will be her last birthday because she knew she was given a her last will, not last will. A psychic told her she would die at a certain age. So she invites her entire family back to the house, and people start dying. That's all I'm gonna say. I love when it says New York Times bestseller, Queen of Twist returns with a family reunion that leads to murder. Murder! Murder! Read it. I can honestly say this is probably my favorite thriller of all time now. I have not been left this, like, what the hell? in a very, very long time with a book. Read it if you haven't read it yet. And then my favorite book of the month, and probably my second favorite book of the whole year, goes to the Fiction Falls pick for May, which was Sword of Kaigen by M.L. Wong. Listen, we were scared to read this book. It is not only a behemoth, it is labeled like everybody's favorite book of like all time. Anybody who reads this ends up loving it. Yeah, I'm a little bit because it fell and then don't ask. This book really is a testament of one place at one time. We do get background for several of the characters. I don't want to say too much because I went into this really blind. I just knew it was a mother's story. Go into it blind. You will love it. I ate this alive. This is high epic fantasy, and I want more high epic fantasy like this. This is a standalone. I could see where this might expand on the world. And if so, I need more in this world. This is just, I will link the live show down below where we discussed this with myself, Amanda from Amanda's Booktopia, host Fiction Falls, and we had Josh from Bookish Daddy join us, and this was such a fun discussion. I think I'm the only one who absolutely devoured this. I think they both gave it like a 4-star. I gave it a 6. I can't stop thinking about it. I want more epic high fantasy in the future. I want to find queer epic high fantasy. Yeah, that's all I'm going to say about this. So those are all the 11 books I read in May. Oh my god, guys! So if you like this video, hit that thumbs up. Comment down below and let me know, have you read any of these? Did I convince you to read any of these? If I convinced you to read anything, I hope it's Step in the Zone. Every time I say that, I always want to go, AutoZone. And that's not even the jingle. But Step in the Zone. Go check this book out if you love MM and hockey romance. This is by far probably one of the best hockey romances I have ever read. That's saying something. I put it up there with Pucking Around and Him by Serena Bowen and Elle Kennedy. This is like really high tier. But comment down below and let me know your thoughts. What was your favorite book you read in May? If you don't have anything to say, leave either a yellow heart emoji because we promote love and joy and queerness here, or a hockey emoji for Step in the Zone. And with that, that's all I've got for you guys. Until next time, remember, kids, to embrace your inner rainbow and take care of your mental health. Hydrate or mummify, as they say. And until next time, I hope you guys have a fabulously gay day, month, year. Whatever it is for you guys, I hope it's fabulous and gay, just like you. Until next time, bye!